y'all, welcome to Horsehead Bookends. It has been a while since I've done a video, so this is going to be a recap of the last month, few weeks, and it's going to include everything. We're going to talk about board games, we're going to talk about music production, we're going to talk about some vinyl, and of course, as always, I'll put timestamps below so you can jump around and watch what you want to watch. So we are going to start with board games first. If you watch this channel for board games, you know that Essen just took place at the beginning of October, and it's one of the very large board game conventions that happens worldwide, along with Gen Con, and PAX East is pretty big. There were 3 games I was very eager to get my hands on, and let's go through what I am really excited to get. I've pre-ordered them all from different sources, so I hope they come in before the end of the year. Okay, the first game I am very excited about is Sabika, and this is published by Ludo Nova Games. Sabika is, what interests me about this game is that it was done by the designer of Bitoku, which was one of my favorite games, and I'll post a link up in the corner there so you can check it out. It employs a rondel mechanic, which is a favorite of mine. I believe it's also a worker placement. I really know nothing about the game very much, aside from a few little reports that I've read and some photos. I tend to buy games blind. I don't want to know too much about it before I actually get it, just to build the anticipation and excitement. So that should be coming. I think I pre-ordered that from Filbert Games. I will post their link down below. They are a French company. They ship to the United States, and the shipping really isn't too bad. So I'm really excited to get this one. Hopefully they'll ship it before the end of the month. The next game I'm excited about was Revive from Aporta Games. This is being distributed by Matago Games, I think. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. That was available on their US Friends site for a while for about $60. It fell off pretty quick, and it was on their France site, which was about the same. However, shipping was really expensive, so I actually bit the bullet and paid for the shipping. Hopefully that it will get to me before the end of the year so I can do a review on it. Revive is a 1 to 4 player game, which seems like it is a hybrid type worker placement deck builder type of game. Everyone has asymmetric player powers, which is really good. But what drew me to this game was all the designers that worked on it, and one of the designers, and I forget their name right now, did The Magnificent, which I actually did a review on. If I can find it, I'll post a link up there in the corner as well, which was a terrific game. I really enjoyed it. I still play it a lot to this day. So hopefully, they were supposed to ship these games after Essen, but my understanding was that they were having some issues with shipping. Hopefully I'll get my game soon, because I did pay a little extra for shipping, but I think it's worth it based on what I think this game is going to be. And finally, the last game that I did pre-order was Tiltum, which is a dice moving set collection style game. This I actually ordered from Cool Stuff Inc., I believe. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And that should be coming this year too. I think it was just some of the pictures of the gameplay that really drew me to this game. And it's another one that I can't wait to get to the table. Aside from that, I did pick up a few new games recently. I was able to grab Hadrian's Wall, which was one of my favorite roll and writes until Twilight Inscription came out, which I still play a lot of because I love it. I also finally got another copy of Flick 'em Up, the original one in the wooden box, because I did have it at one point and I got rid of it, and I was able to get it again. And I also grabbed Rococo from Eagle Griffin Games, which I recently played, which I absolutely fell in love with. It was one that I knew about. I never really played it. When I finally got a chance to play it, I thought it was fantastic. So I can't wait to get that to the table. And check out the solo mode. I haven't done that yet, but I plan on making some more board game videos, probably not so much focusing on those, but some different genres of what I enjoy, especially because we're getting closer to the Christmas season. So if anyone's looking for any gift recommendations, I will be sure to do a video on that. Okay, some vinyl pickups. I think my last vinyl video was for Record Store Day Black Friday. So far my pickup list really hasn't changed. A lot of people were recommending another title, and I can't remember right now. I have to go back and look through my messages to check it out. But some friends are talking it up. But right now I'm still probably not going. We'll order online because I really just want the Jazz Dispensary album that is dropping. But anyway, here are some of my recent pickups for the past few weeks. Some old, some new, but they were stuff that I've listened to most of them already, and they sound pretty terrific. So let's get started with Standing on the Verge, Best of Parliament Funkadelic. I don't have much Parliament in my collection, aside from Maggot Brain, which I think is the only Parliament I have on the collection. I may have them on a compilation or two. So I decided to pick this up because it's kind of like it's a greatest hits type of thing. It's 2 discs, lots of tracks. This will fulfill my Parliament need for now. Next up is Trench by 21 Pilots. When I first heard this album, I really didn't like it very much at all, especially after Vessel and Blurry Face, and then Scaled and Icy, which is terrific. I gave this another listen, and it sort of grew on me. There's some great tracks on here, so it was on sale. I decided to pick it up and make it part of my collection. Alright, next is the futuristic sounds of Sun Ra from Craft Recordings. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm a huge Sun Ra fan. Craft Recordings too, I've talked about them before. Love them. They always do a fantastic job whenever they do anything, especially a remastering. So this showed up, I had to grab it, and it sounds terrific. I've already spun it a couple times already. Moving along to Mars Volta, self-titled newest album. I just spun this a few days ago for the first time because I didn't get a chance to hear it. And I would say it sounds different. It's nothing like, to me anyway, past Mars Volta albums. And I think this is probably their most accessible to people who don't know Mars Volta. If this is your entry to Mars Volta, you may or may not like their other albums, but I really enjoyed this one, and I'm definitely going to give it another spin. Alright, moving along to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Omnium Gatherum. They put out so many albums every year. I don't really grab them all. I'll grab a few of them, but this one I got, Lucky Rainbow Wax Color. I think one is, I've spun already. I know one is purple, and I think one is green. One is green and one is red. I can't remember. Anyway, this album is fantastic. They just did some shows locally on the East Coast, and a buddy went to go and see them. And the first track, The Dripping Tap, it's all a side A. It's like 16 minutes. They opened with that one night. It's a terrific song. This is a great album. I'm happy that I got this into my collection because I really, really enjoyed this one. Alright, and here is one that is a little older, but it's, I don't know if this is a repress or I think it's just another reissue, and that is Talking Heads' Fear of Music. I never had this on vinyl. It's a terrific album, produced by Brian Eno. It was one of the Talking Heads albums I was missing, so I was finally able to get it. It actually has a nice, it's a raised cover. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this, the print on there is a little raised. I don't know if the original was raised. I think it was just solid black. As we keep on moving on, we got American Idiot from Green Day. It's an amazing album. It's one of my wife's favorites. I mostly bought this for her, so this is probably gonna go upstairs with her record collection. It's probably not gonna be down here in the office for long, but I'll bring it up there after I give it a listen. Alright, this one I was actually surprised to get, but one of my local shops got in some back-ordered copies of it, and it is Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 1. I know 1 and 2 I think are out of print, and this just happened to show up in one of his shipments, and he said, hey, I got 2 copies of it, and I jumped on it immediately. I still don't have Use Your Illusion 2, but I believe there is a like an anniversary edition coming out soon. One has something like 13 records on it, in the box set. It's enormous, but I definitely need to get 2. Both Use Your Illusions 1 and 2, I remember, are just a great album, so I can't wait to give this one a spin. And then finally, one of my favorite metal albums of all time, I finally was able to get it, and that is King Diamond's Them. I believe King Diamond is on tour right now with Merciful Fate, but this was one of my all-time favorite albums. Had it on cassette, completely wore it out. It is just a terrific, terrific album, and I haven't spun it yet, but I think I am cracking this open as soon as I'm done with this video and giving it a listen. Okay, moving on to music production. It has been a long while, and I was planning on making some more videos because I swapped out some of my hardware, and we're going to talk about that. But first, and if you're sensitive to certain foul language, I suggest maybe you skip ahead 15 minutes or 15 seconds, 30 seconds, because I just have to give a big FU to Pro Tools because you froze me out of my Pro Tools software, and I lost almost a year of recorded tracks, which I am extremely upset about, and I can feel it in my voice right now. But there was about 9 tracks that were close to being finished, and I had to delete them off of my computer, and I am still extremely angry about it. So I decided to switch back to Ableton, and my last Ableton I used was, I think, Ableton 8, so I'm starting with the light version, trying to just get my feet on the ground. I've recorded 1 track, but it's not 100% finished, and I have some other things that I've saved or written down that I need to get into Ableton. So I'm trying to relearn this whole recording process again, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Ableton won't crap out on me the way Pro Tools did. So again, Pro Tools, you could just eat a bag. I'm really upset about it. So not too long ago, a couple months ago actually, I purchased a OP1 from Teenage Engineering, and it was fun and it was great. I took it on vacation with me, and I think I wrote a track on vacation which was lost during the Pro Tools crash or whatever happened. But after a while, I felt that it just wasn't fitting into my workflow very well. So it eventually, I actually sold it just because I wasn't finding it very useful for what I needed. Again, with the Novation circuit, I might have done a quick video or a quick talk about it in the last recap, but that I returned to. I just didn't like the way it operated. I didn't like, I really didn't like a lot about it. It seemed, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it created things, or even as a sampler, it just wasn't doing it for me. So I got rid of both of those, and I wound up picking my very first Electron piece of hardware, and the Digitact, however you want to call it. I've had so much fun playing with this thing and learning the Electron workflow in the past few weeks. I can now see why this is loved by so many people. In the beginning, I would kind of talk shit about it because it just seemed so... It seemed overly complicated just for being complicated, and it didn't need to be. But after I got one and I played around with it, I've been having so much fun with this, even pulling in my own samples and chopping them up. I can't wait to start using this on tracks. I think I may have recorded something on this, but I don't remember. I have to see. If I did, I'm sure it will be posted to SoundCloud soon. Otherwise, I am actually having a great job with this, and I'm now starting to look into other different Electron hardware to see if it will fit any holes I might have in my setup. This fit a great hole as a sampler. I do have other samplers, but for some reason I took a quick liking to this workflow, so this is going to be in use for quite a bit of time. Other than that, there hasn't been any other changes as far as music production goes. I still have the same setup I talked about in the last recap. I did move some things around, and we will definitely get back to that and do a video just dedicated to that, so you can see my workflow and you see how I create some of my songs. But hopefully we will definitely get a video in, at least I'm hoping 2 or 3 videos in before the end of the year. So other than that, we are going to get back to making multiple videos a month. I think my schedule is going to start freeing up in the next few months. So we will have our separate board game videos, our separate vinyl videos, and our separate music videos. And I still got to get back to video games. I know a lot of you have been asking me about the G-Box that I did a video on a while ago. Post that link up there. I have to get back into it. I have it unplugged and it is in my garage right now in a box. I promise you I will get it out before the end of the year and hook it up and answer all the questions you've been having, because I know a lot of people have been having issues with it. And it'll be good to see if mine still works after being put away for so long. So we'll definitely revisit that. We'll also revisit some video games. I've been really into the sports games this year for some reason. Got the new Madden, got the new NHL. I had the FIFA earlier, so I don't know. I mean, the Madden's really good. The NHL is, I gotta give it some more time and play with it. But other than that, haven't been really doing much on the video game front either. But we will get back to some sort of normal upload schedule as soon as possible. I promise you. Feel free to definitely click the bell so you know whenever I upload new videos. And I should have a new board game video in the next week. Possibly. Vinyl's going to come as I get in things, and we'll definitely do one for Black Friday. So we'll see how that goes. So there's a lot more coming in the future, especially before the end of the year. So thank you very much for sticking around. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to click on subscribing to the notification bell. You get notified anytime I upload a new video. Questions or comments, please post them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, talk to you later.